Oh, good evening, good afternoon, or good night, wherever in the world you are watching from. Welcome to the A, Atlanta, Georgia. It's now 12 minutes after the hour of 5 o'clock. Yes, it is getting crazy every day. Wherever you're watching from, I'm in the A, ATL, Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, that's one of the southern states. Not really deep, deep south, but it's one of the southern states. And I tell you, I'm still heartbroken by the news of the two persons that unalive at DSU, Delta State University in Mississippi. One of the students is from St. Lucia, so it's from Caribbean islands. And it hurt me because I have kids that going to college. And my children are of color. They are black. So family members saying that when they check the body have bruises on it. So even if they wanna say that he commit suicide, he can't commit suicide if the body have bruises, broken bones. They said alleged. But Southern State don't play. The further south you go, is the most racist they are, and they're quick to tell you that, and you are not from here. Go back to your country. They tell me that a lot of times, many times. Somebody losing a tire. But what are your thoughts? What's on your mind this evening or afternoon or night or morning, wherever you're watching from? Hope your day going smooth. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, where traffic is a nightmare. Tuesday through Thursday. Yes, Monday and Friday you get a break because a lot of people don't go to work. They mostly work from home on those days. So I'm coming up to the junction where traffic gotta be like 10 minutes at a standstill. See this guy? He's gonna try to cut me out. We were supposed to start merge all the way down there and he come up just to cut me out. But they said Georgia drivers are the worst set of drivers in the United States of America. Because everybody late to go nowhere. Yes, so what are your thoughts on the story of Trey Reed loses life? They say he was lynched. And in Mississippi, they're known for that. When we were growing back home in Jamaica, they said Mississippi is a big word spelled it. The catch to it was spell it. You can't spell a big word, which is Mississippi. So spell it. You'll be trying to spell Mississippi. I will spell Mississippi right. That's not what it's supposed to spell. It's supposed to spell it. But what are your thoughts on the lynching of Trey Reed and Dukastic? Names sound like two foreigners. One is from St. Lucia. I don't know where the other one is from. But they find both of them hung on the same day. Isaiah Banks, listens to you, my brother. But what are your thoughts on the story coming out of Mississippi, where the two college students lost their life? I don't know what to say because I have children going to college. But in 2025, people still getting unalive by way of lynching. I think that we're out of the woods with those type of crime. But it's rather interesting. The southern states, they still continue with lynching and mob killing or mob unalive. Most of these southern states, they still have up the Confederate flags. Yep. So they fight for this country. So they still have up their Confederate flags. A lot of these southern states, so you have Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. Yep, they are some of the most racist states in America. The southern state, they were some of the last states to free the slaves. I was watching a lady on Facebook. She was saying, talking about the sundown cities. She's just lucky to be alive because she was heading home from Georgia back to Alabama, and we heard she missed her turn to exit the highway, and she said, "Okay, no problem." The GPS took her the back way, which is another way. And she said a pickup truck was following her for miles. She said something ain't right. It was a lonely road. And she do like she was gonna go left, and then she just turned right because the pickup truck was following so close. Pickup truck turned the other way. By the time she said she sit there for a minute and said, okay then, to see if the person gonna come back. The person didn't turn around and come back, but when she looked, it was a police car. Yeah. Saying this to say that in a lot of these small towns, they still have these racist police officers. Because we got to understand the police force was formed to catch runaway slaves. And they get rewarded. So the more slaves you catch, the more reward you got. So in a lot of these small cities, when you're driving through, they tell us, say, hey, don't let those catch you. Yep. I was working in Cummins, Georgia, and working for this lady, and she said, hey, make sure you finish before dusk. The police gonna arrest. Like, what do you mean? So that's what I tell you. Do not make the sun go down on you. Like, I'm from Jamaica, so start to question her, what do you mean by that? He said, if you want to know, stay there. He said, no, I don't want to know. So when I start asking around and do my investigation, they tell me, like, yeah, you're not welcome in the city. Yep. And once you're not welcome, they are going to find something to charge you for. In this day and age, 2025, which we say we're living in a modern world, for a lot of these old cities, the culture remain the same. Because you must understand how it works. My great grandfather was the mayor. My grandfather became the mayor. Then my father became the mayor. Same thing with the chief of police. Most of these small cities are run by a group of people that they close knitted, so they stay together. No outside can come in. So I don't want to turn too much from the story of the two college students that was unaligned in Mississippi, Delta State University. How do you feel getting that phone call that your son was unalive by lynching? I don't know how I would react. Because you send the son to go to college to better he or she and to even better your life as the parents and to get that dreaded call. It should, and it will hurt more when you know that it's not gonna be no more Trey Reed. And I've been to St. Lucia. They are some of the most humble people on the face of this earth. Small island, but the people there are loving, caring, and kind. But when we start to look at it and think about it, we get to realize that the world is in a shambles. And instead of it get better, it getting worse. It's getting worse by the minute. I think I wouldn't talk about this because I never know it would happen. Because that's all I used to hear about. Black people get lynched in Stone Mountain. So when you heard the Martin Luther King story from the hills of Stone Mountain to the valley, you'd be like, wow. I'm just trying to grasp it in as a people, as a nation. Where do we go wrong? What have we done to deserve all these atrocities against our people? You go into a college. If you don't get scholarship or you pay, that means that you pay to go to the college. And for a group of people, because one person can't commit that crime, it gotta be a group of people. It's just sickening, real sickening. Got to be sickness. The sickness of the mind lead to evil things. Evil thought can only bear evilness. A bitter person will always turn to bitterness because he or she is bitter. Because when we were born, we are born to love, not hate. When you go to school, infant school, you don't see John Doe as black. You don't see John Doe as white. You just see John Doe, and you know John Doe name. You call you one another name. That's what kids do. But when you start to grow and reach certain age, and your parents tell you like, "Hey, you don't like such and such person," and then you get to grow into that, and you strive. Just like Charlie. Charlie strive and antagonize people. She's an antagonist. But until the world go back to baby stage where they see a person just by their name, not by the color of their skin. We need real changes. So change gonna come, but by what price? So a lot of people gonna be sacrificial lamb. But change have to come. And we looked to the heavens and cried out, God, what have we done wrong? Where are we as a nation and as a people come short? What have we done to deserve this in a time like now?